Hello, my name is Andrew Simmons, and this is how to play Jiggly-Puff in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, my speech. Now, the things you're going to need to do such a feat are a Nintendo Switch game console, a television to play it on, a power cord for the Switch, and an HDMI cable to put them all together. And also a power cord or anything to plug into the wall would be helpful. Now, also a controller. I'm using a custom-made GameCube controller. The controller is not very important on how to play Jigglypuff. It is more so how you use the actual controller that you have. So this is less important. But in this video game that I'm playing, characters move in 4 different directions, right, left, up, and down. It's very simple. There are 2 buttons to attack, A and B. A will do stuff like punches and kicks and whatever. Your regular moves, And B will do more special moves, like I can sing and whatnot. Now, each of these moves have different properties. And to describe what they are, if you hold up, because depending on which direction you hold, depends on what move will do. If you hold up and hit the B button, you will sing. Now what this move does, it actually puts enemies to sleep who are nearby you. This can be extremely useful to keep them in one spot so they can get a good hit on them. If you hold down and press B, you fall asleep. Now that might seem useful, but if you get the right hit, which I fail to do, but it actually creates a box inside the character that does good damage whenever you hit someone with it. Now, if you hold side and hit B, then you do a pound. Now this move is great for mixing up your opponent so that it comes out a little bit after you hit it so that you can catch them whenever they think you're going to hit but you don't, and then it comes out after the fact. And also it does great damage to shields. Now I'll get to that later. So that explains all of them. Oh, and I forgot to mention that if you hold no direction, and you hit B, it does a new move. This one you get to roll up and run into the enemy. That can be extremely useful for punishing them if they whiff an attack across the entire stage. So those are special moves. Those are what the B button is known for, is special. Now, the A button is going to be your bread and butter. These are your regular attacks, so your punches and kicks and stuff. They have little to no time that they come out for, and they can be extremely helpful. Now, Jigglypuff, her whole thing is that she can jump in the air a lot. So you want to constantly be playing her strength, which is aerial mobility, and her aerials. Aerials is just any attack that's in the air. Now, it can be extremely useful. Her best move, without a doubt, is her forward air. Meaning you hold forward and hit the A button in the air. So it's quite simple. It's in the title, really. And this thing is great for walling away your opponents. You can just hit them like this and keep them away. Now, an even better move, if you're in the air and you attack the opposite direction you're facing, that's called a back air. It's quite simple, back in the air, and this move is even better than the forward air because it does a lot more knockback, meaning you can hit your enemies away, and it also does more damage to them. It is extremely helpful. It is her bread and butter attack, and if you want to keep doing it over and over, you want to face the other direction, jump, and then do it. But before you hit the ground, you jump, and then jump away. Because as Jigglypuff, if you hold a direction and then jump, you're going to change to that direction. So see, if I jump that way, I'm now facing Mario. But if I jump the other way, then I'm constantly facing the opposite direction so I can get the more powerful attack out. That is the key, essential thing to know when trying to play Jigglypuff. Now, Jigglypuff is great in the air, but also has other moves on the ground. Now, the attack, if you hold down and hit A, it's a little poke. Now, it's great for just keeping your enemies away, but nothing too, super special. Same thing with her forward attack, which is where you hold forward and hit A. It just kind of is a little kick. And it's okay for keeping them off you, nothing too great. But an amazing move is her up attack. This one. Now, this one is great for hitting them up in the air. So if you do that, it gets a little bit of air on them. But with that one move that puts you to sleep and hits enemies, you can actually combo it together like that, and they can't do anything about it. And it is great for keeping your opponents on their toes and catching them off guard if they mess up a single attack. Now, there's a ton of other things in this game to know, such as when you shield, enemies cannot actually attack you. They'll just attack your shield and you won't take damage. But Jigglypuff has a special feature that no other character has, which is when her shield breaks, she instantly dies. And this is because her character is implied to be a balloon, and when balloons pop, they're gone. So that's like a little thing about her. So it's all about keeping your enemies away in the air, keeping aerial dominance, and knowing when to time your attacks. Because Jigglypuff's attacks actually have weaker attacks if the longer they're out. So if you noticed I do this one, that only did 7 damage, because the attack was out for a little bit. But if I do it right when it shows up, that did 10 damage. And it's all about just timing it. And also, another great thing about Jigglypuff is when you hit an enemy off stage, then if they try to get back, you can actually just like do something like this, and boom, he's basically already dead. If you can keep them away from the ledge as Jigglypuff with your superior air mobility, that is the key to victory as this character. And I think I have described how to play Jigglypuff very well. That was my speech. Well, that was my how-to speech. And this game can be quite confusing to new players, even though there's only 2 buttons to do anything. But I hope that explains some of it, and that is my speech. Thank you very much.